Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Thryss. If you are new, I am super happy to have you. I hope you will stick around and subscribe. If you are a returning Stitchy, welcome back. I am so happy to have you back. If you guys could tickle the thumbie, preferably the thumbs up button, I would super appreciate that, and watch the video from beginning to end at normal speed. This is the best way you can help YouTube channels. Okay, so this is a long-awaited, for me, long-awaited. I've wanted to do this video for a while. So this is a Q&A video, which you probably already know that. On my community tab, I asked for people to ask me questions, so I have those over here. Disclaimer. If you hear snorting and snoring, it's Gizmo right here. If you hear belly gurgles, it's Kobe right here with an upset tummy. And you can hear it because I did a test run. So that is what is happening. Okay. So I've wanted to do this for a while, and I was reminded of it by Juan, the yarn addict. He did one a few weeks ago. And so I was like, well, let's give it a shot. Let's see what we can see. So this is in no particular order and will probably be a hot mess. So getting that out of the way. I let you guys know you could ask anything you wanted to. Doesn't mean I'd answer it, but you could ask whatever you wanted. A lot of it has to do with crochet and dyeing, not all of it. And I have not pre-planned my answers. I don't even remember most of the questions. So. Okay. What are your favorite and least favorite fibers to dye? And also, what are your favorite, least favorite dyes for the different fibers? And this is from Yolanda Perkins. Okay. My least favorite fiber to dye is cotton. I used to absolutely hate dyeing cotton. And a lot of that was out of not knowing how to do it and getting poor results. So I've gotten better at doing it now. I still definitely, my favorite fiber to dye is, you know, animal fibers. I think alpaca and mulberry silk take the dye beautifully, and I have a lot of fun doing it. Those are probably my favorite fibers. And my favorite dye, I've only tried two, and that is Dharma Trading Company's dyes, and then Jacquard. I love Dharma Trading Company dyes. Jacquard I actually don't mind. I just don't like their teeny tiny bottles. But I have started getting their bigger bottles, like the ones I have at Dharma. And so they have really nice dyes too. I'd like to try some other dyes. I don't know of any companies off the top of my head. I think Paradise Fibers, I've never ordered anything from them before. But I think they have dyes, if I'm not mistaken. So that's one I would really love to give a try. This is from Juan himself. He says, "Hi friend, I'm super happy you're doing this. My question is, where do you pull your inspiration from to do the awesome work you do?" You're so sweet. I don't know about awesome work, but if we're talking yarn dyeing, just, I don't know, kind of whatever colors I feel at the time. Or if I've seen something online, like I've seen a photo, or yeah, usually something I'm seeing in real life or online will strike me, and I'll text myself, you know, XYZ colors, and then I'll try to go and recreate that the best I can. Or lately what I've been doing is I'm taking this color generator and clicking it, because I'm terrible at like taking opposite sides of the color wheel and putting them together, and I kind of have trouble stepping outside like my comfort zones of colors. So I'll just click it and it'll spit out a random few colors, And I've been doing that, which has been really good for growth. So definitely that's been the inspiration. Okay, Scandalous. I used to say Scandalicious, I don't know why. Scandalous Creations, love the name. Hi Thryss, what is your guilty pleasure that would surprise your friends? That is a good question. Man, I don't know. That would surprise my friends. A guilty pleasure that would surprise my friends. I mean, the copious amount of carbs I eat is maybe that. Okay. Oh man, this is for sure what it is. I was hoping to think of something else. Okay. So I don't like reality TV in this sense. Like, first of all, I don't watch TV. But I don't watch a lot of like stuff, but sometimes I like reality TV. Now, any reality TV is scripted, but like I'm not guilty about most of them. I love Survivor and The Amazing Race. I think that's really good. But used to, I watched Jersey Shore and Teen Mom, which is in the Kardashians. But you can't convince me that that's not half scripted. So I guess reality TV to some extent, though I don't watch those anymore. I just watch Survivor and The Amazing Race. I watch paranormal stuff. That probably wouldn't surprise anybody. But there's a few YouTube channels I watch, and I could give no care to whether it's real or not. It's just entertaining. So probably that. That's a good question. Okay, let's see. Okay, I had to help my son real quick. Okay, so let me turn my tablet back on. Okay, so the next question comes from Gems by Anastasia. It sounds like you've had a very interesting life. Maybe how you got out of being unhoused. If too personal, just ignore that question. Sending love. Love back at you. So during the break, I did read this question and debated. In a nutshell, a lot went into this, of course. This is not just and got it done. In a nutshell, I tested out and finished school early because I was a teenager. I was a minor, and in school, so I was stuck to the law of a certain amount of time that you could work, and it was not enough for me to be able to save up what I needed in the time that I needed to save it up in. So I also was not willing to go tell the system, the state, whatever. I wasn't willing to go try to get help because I had been in not great situations in like foster care and stuff like that. So I tested out and finished school early. I got emancipated so that I was no longer considered a minor. It took a lot of really hard work, and maybe one day I'll go into all of that. Times are a little different now, which I'm really glad for, but in a nutshell, that was it. Yeah, in a nutshell, that was it. Except there's, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. Oh, I'm going the wrong direction. Who taught me? So, Naomi would like to know who taught me to crochet and who taught me to dye my yarn, my gorgeous yarn. That's very sweet. So, it depends on what qualifies as who taught you. I had no hands-on teachers. Andrew grabbed a kit for me from the craft store, or the grocery store actually, and told me to throw myself into this because I had just started going through my first round of chemo, and I was scared and stressed and sick and in like kind of a bad place, and probably driving him up the wall. So he got something for me to do, and so I started learning from that book. This was before I even knew YouTube crochet was a thing. I had never been a big social media person, so YouTube was a thing. It just wasn't a thing I did because, I don't know, antisocial me. So so in that sense, I taught myself. And then, so I crocheted a blanket, and I got bored because it was just nothing but double crochets. I was so bored. Kind of the hellacious scenario I'm in right now. I have 3,400 and some odd double crochets that I have to do into this project that I'm doing right now before I'm finished. And it's only actually like 3 or 4 rows that I have to do, but it's actually, no. Hey, I made a lot of progress. 6, 12, 18, 20. So it's a little over 2,400. When I first started, I needed over 4,000. So this is where I'm at. I'm at like 2,400 double crochets still being needed to be done. Anyway, I got so bored of it, and I tried something new, and I got frustrated because I couldn't figure it out. And so I threw it. I was done. I walked away. And then he said, well, why don't you look at YouTube? Why don't you look on YouTube? And I'm sure there's people there who can teach. So it had never struck me to do that. So I get onto YouTube, type in, I don't even know what I typed in, like teach me to crochet or something. I don't remember what I typed in. And Bag O' Day popped up. You know, story for most of us. She popped up. And so in that sense, Crystal taught me how to crochet and gave me a craft that saved my life, genuinely got me through a really hard spell that I didn't know how I was going to get through. I poured all my focus into that, and it has gotten me through a lot. Crochet has been, it's been very cathartic. It's been very good for me. So, Crystal. And then as for dyeing, hands-on, nobody taught me how to dye. I've done most of the experimenting on my own, but I learned the fundamentals of the science behind it from Rebecca at Chemnitz. She is brilliant at what she does. She is really good. On my best day, I could never beat her on her worst. She is very good at what she does. So if you've never heard of Rebecca at Chemnitz, I will link her below. I honestly, yeah, I guess pretty much everything that I know that got me started came from her, and then everything I've learned since then came from me. So yeah. Okay, so Crocheted by Mishi would like to know what my favorite subject in school was. Hers was science and math. Can't wait to watch your Q&A. So, my favorite subjects were science, for sure, and history. I was good at math and, like, English and stuff like that, but I really, really enjoyed history and science. Science, I love, like, lab work. I love experimenting. I love, you know, things like that. History, though, history has my heart. History is my all-time favorite. I think it's so interesting. But I always bear in mind, history was written by the victors, and history can be flawed. So I like to be investigative with history. I like to make sure I'm learning the real history of it as much as one can when, you know, usually the people who are the ones in history aren't there to tell you the truth or how it happened. But history is definitely my favorite. How long have I been dyeing yarn? If I could only dye one yarn, what would it be? And that is from Mary King. I've been dyeing yarn for a little over a year. I started last summer. Yeah, I started last summer. I have been researching it for years before that. I never jump into doing something without exhausting research options because I'm a perfectionist who doesn't want to fail. So I researched the crap out of it, and then I bought everything you could need to buy, and then I took forever to get the courage up to actually do it, and then I started doing it. So, oh goodness. Okay, if I could only dye one fiber, what would it be? So, I don't know that I can narrow it down to one specific yarn. Animal fiber for sure. We'll just leave it at that, animal fiber. We'll leave it at wool in all its various forms. There we go. My favorite, okay, Sally Stevens, my favorite food to cook. Okay. I hate cooking as of right now because my kitchen is so teeny tiny. So right now, I have a hate-hate relationship with cooking. When I'm not here, I think pasta dishes probably, even the chicken part of it, like the meat part of it. I love cooking lumpia. Lumpia is a Filipino dish. It's my favorite thing to eat. It's my favorite thing to cook. Probably lumpia. Okay, Jane Fox. My question has nothing yarny related. What type of music do you like? Like favorite band? No, I love the non-yarny questions. So I like all kinds of music is the hard part. I don't have any one specific. It just depends on at that moment. I'll get really obsessed with one band and then I'll move on to another one. I don't dislike them later. They stay on my playlist, but I like so many different genres. I mean, from Christian to rock to alternative to, I mean, everything. R&B, pop. I love a cappella. I think that's pretty. I think the only music I guess the easier question is what's my least favorite. Country's probably my least favorite. Older country, like, what is the word I'm looking for? You know, just like the hits, older country from like the 90s. I like, I don't know that I've never really heard much new age country. Yeah, I like everything. I like indie. I like classical music. I mean, I like everything. So it's kind of a no answer. What do I like to do other than dyeing yarn? That is coming from my beastie herself, fibromyalgia yarn resin, Nicole. So I'm really getting into basket weaving, and I've always been into painting and drawing. I haven't been able to do it for a long time. But basket weaving, I'm really starting to get into. There's lots of things I'd like to do. That's the only thing I actually probably do, though. Kind of dyeing and crocheting takes up all my time right now, honestly. Okay. Nicole also says, I love movies, almost all kinds of genres. What is your favorite kind of movie, and which is your favorite movie of all time that you could watch over and over again? Oh my gosh. I like a lot of different kinds of movies. I definitely have a favorite, and that is post-apocalyptic, dystopian, sci-fi, apocalyptic, not just post-apocalyptic. You know, like the earthquake, tornado, alien invasion, zombie, like zombies the least of all of those. But yeah, basically Earth and humanity being destroyed or taken over in some sort of way, that's my jam. And it doesn't matter if it's a if it's a B film, you know, like the not the like blockbuster. I don't care. The more cringy, the better, honestly. That's definitely my favorite. I'll watch a lot of different types of things, but that time travel sort of stuff, definitely dystopian, apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic, is an alien invasion sort of thing. That's 100% my favorite thing. Favorite movie I could watch over and over again. That's a toss-up between Harry Potter series. What have I watched a bunch? I don't know, honestly. There's a lot of movies that I watch over and over again. I watch Harry Potter every year, all of them, around this time of year. I'm halfway through it. I'll finish around Christmas, New Year's time. 2012 and any of the, like, you know, Twister and just like those kind of movies. There's quite a few movies I watch repeatedly. There's not I Am Legend. There really isn't one specific one. Pisky Oinker, what color would you use, including all its shades, if you could only use one color forever? I don't know if this is surprising or not surprising, but gray. Thing is it's not necessarily my favorite color, I don't think. I don't really have a favorite color. I have a favorite shade of colors. But every color combination I will, like, do or find pretty has gray in it. So I'll say gray. I don't know what that says about me. Maybe I should look that up and see. What does it say about a person if gray is their favorite color? Probably means I'm boring. Oh, nice. Which takes me into taking a stab at it, or Stabatha. I call her Stabby. What's your favorite color or combo to dye, and what's your least favorite? So definitely my favorite. What did I just do? Okay. My favorite. I'm getting my second email up. Okay. My favorite color combo is probably not surprising at all. Blues, purples, teals, grays, blacks mixed together in some form or fashion, or rainbow with grays and blacks. My least favorite is one specific dye, and it's Purple Pop. I hate it. I like it because it breaks. It's a lot of fun. You get so many different colors out of it, but it is the most pain in the butt color to get out of the water, and it's completely wild and uncontrollable. Like me. So it's a very specific one, is my absolute disdain. I haven't used it in a really long time. I ought to use it again. Okay, where did I meet Mr. Thryss? That is from Laurel. So I actually met Mr. Thryss online. Believe it or not, and we've been together a real long time. But I think there's something to, I think meeting somebody online is either the absolute best or the absolute worst. If both parties aren't being honest about who they are and what they like, and they're just doing the typical catfishing sort of thing where they're, you know, emoting who they'd like to be, not who they actually are, then it will never go right because you're not being authentic. And when you get together, it will fail because you weren't being authentic. If you, like Andrew and I, were completely authentic on who you are, what you want out of life, and everything like that, it can be a really beautiful thing because you're getting to know each other on the levels that matter, solely off of foundational beliefs, who you are as people, what you want out of life, where you want to go, your personality. We didn't see what one another looked like for, I think, a year and a half. We dated for, you know, a while before we ever knew what one another looked like. And so nothing was based off of looks, nothing was based off of the other parts of relationships. It was based off the important parts. And yeah, it worked really well for us. So, Laurel, that was so sweet. She just made a comment that wasn't a question. That was very nice. Laurel also, where is the one place that I would like to visit? There is not one place. I am losing my vision. I will be totally blind. I should have been totally blind by now. I want to see everything I can see before I can't see it anymore, and not in pictures. I want to see it in real life. I want to go to Maldives, not only because it's beautiful, but I would love to see when the bioluminescence is at its peak of, you know, the ocean, and it comes up on shore and the water literally looks like it's glowing. I would love to see Africa. I would love to see Egypt. I've been obsessed with the pyramids my whole life. I'd love to see Hawaii. It's beautiful. I'd love to see a volcano. When I was a little kid, thought I was going to be a volcanologist. Truly. I'd love to go to England. I mean, I want to see everything. I want to see the Painted Desert. I want to see the Grand Canyon. I want to see as much as I can see before I can't see it. So, everywhere. Everywhere and anywhere, and as much as I can is the answer. My favorite love language, Nicole wants to know my favorite love language. Hers is giving. I love to give, and that is very true. She's an exceptionally giving woman. Giving and acts of service. I also like positive affirmations. I think it's very important to tell somebody what they mean to you and what they're doing right. Like, I'll just go up to Andrew and just, I don't know, I really loved how you said this or how you did that or something like that. Or like when he plays the drums or the bass, he makes a certain face. And I just find it absolutely intoxicating. I love the face he makes. And so I'll tell him that you're so handsome. You're so cute right now with the face that you're making. If I think it, I say it. At least I try to. Most of the time I do. That's what I would love back, you know, to me, even though it's uncomfortable. I'm still not great at accepting that stuff. But it's important to say it, not just think it. It does very little good to think it if the other person isn't hearing it. So I think those are important too, but definitely acts of service and giving, for sure. If I could eat, Nicole, if I could eat one food for the rest of my life, what would it be? Contrary to popular belief, because all I ever talk about is chicken nugget sandwiches. What would be the thing that, honestly, okay, this is going to sound so lame. There isn't any one food that I would eat all the time. Now, I get on kicks. Like, I'll get on a baked potato kick, and I'll eat baked potato every lunch and dinner for, a week till I get it out of my system. Water. Believe it or not, water is the thing I crave the most and I drink the most. And it so used to not be that way as a teenager. You couldn't get me to drink water. I don't know that there's any one food. That's a hard one. There's a lot of foods that I would love to eat. It just depends on the week what I'm obsessed with. Okay, let's see. Okay, Nicole says, last one I promise. So we all know we're all yarnies, and and love to collect yarn. What else do you collect? So I like to collect watches. I like to collect keychains. I like to collect ink pens. The more unique and interesting, the better. I like anything quirky and unique, anything with mixed mediums, like putting glass and wood and metal together for some sort. I don't know. It's very cool to me. Okay, keychains, tennis shoes and purses or bags. Designer, ideally. It's been a long time since I've been able to do that. Watches. Oh man, I'm trying to think. Nelson Woods hooks, I really love those. I like collecting stitch markers from my friends that they make. I'm going through my head of all the things that there's a lot of things I would love to collect. I love antique stuff. I don't have much in the way of it. Like I've always wanted one of those ivory and metal old like Victorian sets of the hairbrush, the comb, the mirror on the little tray. I've always wanted something like that. I've never had one. I would love a pitcher and water basin. Never had one. Would love one. Like an antique antique anything. I mean, I think antiques are so cool. I've always been obsessed with them. There's a lot of things that I collect in my head, but I don't actually like have in real life. But yeah, in real life, tennis shoes, watches, handbags, or bags in general, keychains, antique stuff, interesting and cool hooks and ink pens, like crochet hooks and ink pens. Yeah, probably those. Oh, old books. I love old books. I have a Bible from 1785, I think. I also have this scrapbook that somebody put together for like decades leading up to Lincoln, and while Lincoln was alive, that has just newspaper articles pasted into it. And yeah, I love old books for sure. I'd love to have a first edition of anything. Velveteen Rabbit would be cool. I know that's not like an ancient book, but that was my favorite book growing up. So yeah. How many children do I have, Laurel? Okay, so I've lost a lot of babies, unfortunately. I have okay, so I have 3 biological children, and they are 22, 20, about to turn 21 this December, and then 18. And then I have my daughter, who our son brought to us, who, if for some reason, you know, young love, they weren't to work out, you know, we would adopt her in a heartbeat. And we've actually talked about that. And when I collect somebody as like she'll always be my child, no matter what her and Charles happen to become. She'll always be mine. I lost a son when I was a teenager, very young. So he was actually born, so that was really hard. So I have had 4 biological children that I have birthed. I did lose a daughter very late in pregnancy. So I guess it all kind of depends on what you consider that counts as a I don't know. But yeah. Let's see. Nicole, what is my favorite crochet stitch and what is my most hated? Right now, my most hated is a double crochet. Had you asked me before that, crab stitch would probably be my most hated. Right now, it's double crochet. I want to just wipe it off the face of this earth. Its existence, just no. I think my favorite stitch is the jasmine stitch or the star stitch. I really, really like them. I think they're really pretty. I enjoy doing them. I think that would probably be it. Okay, Crocheted HD, Jackie, she has a channel. What is your favorite decade and why is it the 80s? Because she loves the 80s. I think my favorite decade was just my decade. I, did most of my growing up in probably the early 2000s. I don't know. Although I look back and think the 60s were pretty cool. Women's liberation and, hippiesville. Love it. What is my comfort TV show? One that I'll watch over and over again. Survivor. I love Survivor. I loved Lost until the final episode. That was ridiculous. Don't even get me started on that. I love Doctor Who. Doctor Who's a good one. Yeah. Amy Lynn, if you could go back and change anything that has happened to or for you, would you do it? And if so, what would it be? No. Nothing, even the really, really terrible. I wouldn't change anything because I love who I'm becoming. Because you should always be changing. I will never stop changing. I think everything has good or bad a part to play in where you are. There's some moments I wish wouldn't have happened, of course, but I don't know that I would necessarily change them because who knows where my life would be without that. And things have happened. I don't know. I think probably not. Let's see. I've already answered when I first started crocheting, who taught me. What made me decide to start my channel, and do I have a yarn room? I do not have a yarn room. I wish I did. I have a little yarn closet, and I've kind of taken over the living room. I'm trying to condense it down into only that closet. But when we move, I'd like to have a yarn room. Or a yarn bus would be really cool. But no, I don't have a yarn room. What made me decide to start my channel? There was a lot of lovely ladies that had a hand in getting me here. Crystal, Jennifer from Cinnamon Stitches, and Dee were the biggest people who had a direct hand in getting the channel started, whether it was just encouragement to do it or like the bulk of my inspiration came from them. Andrew kept encouraging me to do it. I really wanted and planned to start teaching tutorials from a blind standpoint and also plus size tutorials. Not how to adjust to get to a plus size, but teaching from a plus size. And yeah, that was kind of why I wanted to start. And teaching dyeing. I think that is it. Yeah, I think that is it. I did have some questions that were emailed to me. Hold on. And in true Thryss fashion, I don't know where they are. I don't know which email they were to. And I get inundated with so many emails that I have no idea where they are at this point. But that is what we'll do. We'll leave it at that anyway. I could do another Q&A in like a year or something like that. Or if you guys have any more questions that weren't answered, leave it in the comment section below. Because I could always do a part 2. I think this is a lot of fun. Or maybe we could do a Q&A live. I think that could be a lot of fun. Do it in real time. I like to tell stories, so it could be a live story time depending on the questions. But I hope you guys had fun. I had fun. If this is your introduction to me, I'm so happy that you came. I hope you stick around. There's going to be some really big changes rolling out in my channel very, very soon. I'm kind of going a different direction. And so I look forward to having you along for the ride. And yeah, okay. I love you guys. Stay safe and stay weird. As normal is boring.